Today, we'll discuss Ripple and XRP, as well as the broad majority of cryptocurrencies and financial issues. Just take a short look at this video and you will get a clear picture. Thank you for watching our channel. If you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe, like, and comment. We promise to always serve you better. You're talking about connecting economies through a CBDC and you're talking about bridges. Outside of that, though, right, things get intriguing when we take a closer look at a couple of aspects of this project and bridge, and I'll begin discussing it right now in a moment. However, let's discuss a couple of points within this. The project and bridge are not new to start with. This information was released on October 2022, Therefore, it has been around for almost a year already. Since the BIAs want the public and private sectors to work together closely, many of their projects are known to be strongly focused on public and private sector activities. They are aware, I believe, that the private sector is home to a wealth of knowledge and cutting-edge technologies. We must now consider how the players will respond to this endeavor as we address that. Let's first discuss a few points related to Project mBridge's informational component. As a result, it is clear that the payment system supporting cross-border financial flows has not kept up with the rapid expansion of global economic integration, which is an excellent indicator that the cross-border financial sector is about to undergo a major facelift. Furthermore, the date was October 2022. Do any of you recall what happened in October 2022? No, that's correct, I see. On Twitter, there is a FUD campaign that claims that FTX and all of these other exchanges will follow through with FTX and other things. Naturally, the FUD turned out to be true in the end, and FTX wasn't a distraction. Almost everyone is preoccupied. However, what we were actually interested in was what was going on behind the scenes. International payments are facilitated by a global network of correspondent banks, but they are hampered by high costs, slow speeds, transparency issues, and operational complexity. Banks are cutting back on their correspondent networks and services as well, leaving many participants, particularly emerging markets and developing economies, without enough or inexpensive access to the international financial system. A number of CBDC cross-border payments might be made instantly, cheaply, and with complete security thanks to multi-CBDC arrangements that directly integrate jurisdictional digital currencies and a single shared tactical infrastructure. We'll look at the names associated with it outside of this now. Therefore, a multi-CBDC platform called mBridge is being developed by the BIS Innovation Hub, Hong Kong Center, the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, the Bank of Thailand, the Digital Currency Institute of the People's Bank of China, and the Central Bank of the United Arab Emirates. What's hilarious about this? Do you know? Look at the date that Ripple officially unveiled their CBDC platform. Okay, then have a look at some of the announcements that were made at about the same time. Scrolling down, we can actually see that Project mBridge tests cross-border payments and utilizing a specially created shared platform based on DLT, which allows several central banks to issue and trade their individual central bank digital currencies. Let's investigate a few issues. Although there is definitely a lot of information around this, what I'm focusing on here are a few of the names that are aspiring to join this group. In reality, this information is from September 25th, which is why I'm bringing it up again. Additionally, you guys made comments and naturally asked what I felt of this. The mBridge CBC project is seen getting ready to release a minimal viable product. The commercial and central banks from the UAE, Thailand, Hong Kong, China, and Hong Kong are among them. Although the future new members have not yet been named, they did mention that a few are in the works. We can see that we're inviting or anticipating inviting other central banks to join this open platform, and very soon we'll release what we refer to as a minimally viable product to open the door for the gradual commercialization of mBridge. Is Ripple connected to this now? What's happening? What's going on with this like? First of all, we can see that there is a pilot in the area. Look at the majority of the names listed. There are several names on this list that can be linked directly to Ripple. And when we consider some of the most well-known names, such as the Bank of China, SCB is one of them. It's really fascinating at this particular time because once again, CBDCs are a hot topic. Focusing on the names associated with these initiatives at this moment is really intriguing because, as I mentioned, when we do so, we are aware that those names can be directly linked to Ripple. In addition to this, Ripple just joined Prosper Payments Task Force, the BIAs, in August of this year, which I also found to be extremely interesting given the timing of this. Naturally, a number of well-known figures are associated with this, As you are surely all aware, the fact that DLT is mentioned 5 times in the Enbridge document serves as a type of indication that the company is not using the XRP ledger to handle real-time peer-to-peer cross-border payments and foreign currency transactions through a payment versus payment arrangement employing CBDCs. They are actually deploying a custom-built DLT. And once more, here is the point when a lot of people are wondering if Ripple and XRP were simply killed. And I'm pretty sure that when this was first announced, I discussed it with you guys and mentioned how, even with these platforms, there will still be problems with tying various tokens together, connecting this to that and settling disputes. Even though they aren't using Ripple, it's possible that they are. So what do you think? According to his actual, once again, utility, XRP continues to have a bridge current use case. And once more, I don't really see this as a method to undermine XRP or do anything similar. Again, you literally need every player on board to have anything like this. Imagine that you must connect every single country to this. And even if you succeed in doing so, the system will still be completely centralized and operate in a closed-loop fashion. Do we still perceive efficiencies? Indeed, we do. In addition to that, as I've already mentioned, when we look at a lot of the connections here to some of the players tied to it, we can see the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, the Bank of Thailand, the Bank of China, and of course, the Central Bank of the UAE. I just feel like it won't be as beneficial as most people think it will be. Ripple joined the Hong Kong CBDC experiment with UBS Bank on May 19 of this year. The pilot extensively emphasized tokenization strategies, particularly for equity releases and real estate. The Hong Kong regulator announced on August 25 of this year that they are considering tokenization to strengthen the bond market. The study discovered that DLT has a lot to offer for improving bond markets. There's a fair probability that the XRP ledger serves as the DLT in question here, and XRP, of course, has no confirmation of no confirmation or mention. However, I find it convenient that they announced their partnership with Ripple 3 months ago for CPC cut tokenization activities, which once more gives you a wonderful insight into Ripple's connections to the Hong Kong Monetary Authority. Keep in mind that all of these methods revolve around using their CPC. Additionally, we already know that Ripple has, I believe, had discussions with over 20 central banks about CPC projects, and we already know that we have 5 other partnerships that have been officially confirmed. Another wonderful film discussing Hong Kong's large concentration of developers and blockchain-related investments can be seen here. We're eager to move, or rather, we're eager to cooperate with forward-thinking companies and financial organizations to manage and tokenize value in Hong Kong and across Asia. Then outside of this, we saw Thai Bank introduce a Ripple-powered app for quick cross-border payments backdated to January 9, 2020. Launching a smartphone app powered by Ripple, Thailand's oldest bank enables quick, affordable cross-border payments. Was this a bank? Commercial bank? SCB? They really have a complete case study over here as well, which it will assist CM Commercial Bank in fostering innovation with quick cross-border memories in order to become a leader in digital banking in Thailand and Southeast Asia. With the aid for a cross-border payment solution, SCB can interface with partners globally and provide clients with quick, affordable cross-border payments through its SCB Easy app. The bank is extending its commercial clientele. Again, the reason I bring this up is because SCB is one of the players in Thailand. When you actually look at the players who are attached to the Ember. Additionally, we know that ACBC collaborates closely with MayFG and Ripple. Many outstanding names have direct connections to Ripple. There is the Middle East beyond this. We are aware of Ripple's most recent Middle Eastern expansion, and we are also aware of how heavily focused they have been on the UAE. We also know that they have been providing services to clients all over the world, with the US, the Middle East, and North Africa accounting for more than 90% of their revenue. Around 20% of all Ripple net clients, including SAB, Carter National Bank, Lulu Financial Holdings, Al Ansari Exchange, and RAK Bank, are headquartered in the MENA region, making it a crucial market for the business. Cross-border transfers from the UAE, Iran, and Saudi Arabia to India make up more than half of Ripple's MENA payment volume. In addition, we are aware that Joe Assets is welcomed in the UAE while Ripple triumphs in Singapore. Therefore, it is June this year, the People's Bank of China, which controls the Chinese blockchain market, is the final but not least party with whom Ripple speaks. And all of this dates back to 2017. Once more, we have no idea how closely Ripple is linked to Enbridge. All we can do at this point is connect the dots. We might make assumptions and play the riddle by saying, look, it's an X. It means XRP. But that would be absurd, wouldn't it? We need complete assurance. We can only conclude that they are not using the XRP ledger based on the fact that they are using a DLT that was designed specifically for them. However, we are aware that Ripple has developed private ledger technology based on the XRP ledger. For bridging, they can once more use XRP. They're not really providing us with very much insight here, which I don't anticipate they will. At the end of the day, this is the buys, and they are collaborating with some pretty significant players. The question here is who?